there's more to Christmas than just receiving.
It's just presents, yeah.
It's more than just receiving, it's also giving.
Family and friends can get closer and be closer and spend some time together, and that's really where it starts. From our family to yours, happy holidays.
With the poached pears steaming and the turkey ready for carving, the Bradley family is gathering once again to share a holiday meal. At a moment like this, they're not thinking about how they saved on the whole meal at Fred Meyer, and that's okay. The Bradleys can just keep on enjoying the foods they love, and we'll keep on bringing them to them. Fred Meyer, for people who love great food and lower prices.
Your fireplace adds so much to your home, and Gordon's can add even more. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Selection second to none. Glass screens, fine accessories, high-efficiency natural gas fireplaces, plus home furnishings that will add to the warmth of your home. Hurry in for special sale prices on a great selection of glass screens and gas logs. Everything for your fireplace. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Open weeknights till 8.
Want to make money in the stock market? 2020's method. Meet the experts.
They may not be stupid, but they may not be any brighter than you.
Watch 2020 Friday.
Tomorrow, the SATs and students who got perfect scores.
And Christmas with a view of Yellowstone Park, plus the Vienna Choir Boys.
On Good Morning America, tomorrow.
The film is JFK. The writer, producer, and director of the film is Oliver Stone. Oliver, one area where you've got a lot of students of this assassination kicking and screaming and pulling their hair out is your use of Jim Garrison as a central figure in the film. For them, Jim Garrison was a man who ran a shabby investigation, who was laughed out of court by the jurors, and who ultimately, they believe, may actually have set back raising questions because it was so laughable. Now, do you think he's just been misjudged by history?
I admire Jim Garrison. I think he was an underdog. I think he was fighting an impossible situation. He was trying to run an espionage trial against the U.S. government in the light of day. I think that as late as the 1980s, we still see the same problem with the Lawrence Walsh investigation into people like Oliver North and Richard Secord and the Iran-Contra plotters. His subpoenas to Allen Dulles and Richard Helms in Washington, which were key elements in his trial, were squashed. His files were stolen. His offices were bugged. The press was against him, and in a highly doubtful documentary done on NBC, which, well, we don't have time for the details, but I don't think that he really got a fair chance, and I think that he was dealing with something that was much too big. In the 1960s, for anybody to attack the government and the CIA and military intelligence as concepts, it was impossible.
But you know the allegations about his being associated with organized crime. You know that one of his witnesses said he fingerprinted his children because he wasn't sure who they were. Another witness was a drug addict. Another witness went under hypnosis before he came up with the proper testimony. And the jurors were out, what, 50 minutes? Is this the man you want to build the film around?
Well, Jim Garrison, as I've said before in other interviews, is a metaphor. He's his protagonist. I tried to put all the researchers from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s into Jim's case. I took that liberty. That's a dramatic license. But I think that Jim's case was flawed in many ways, but he had a lot of good witnesses that identified Shaw and his relationship with Oswald and with Ferry. Those drug addicts that you talk about, each one has a different history, but you can point to, you know, these were people in the street, these are people that are aware of a conspiracy. They're not necessarily law professors and people in three-piece suits, you know. It's hard to make a case with respectable people sometimes.
Now, you see, it's your use of... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Also, I'd point out that Shaw was in the CIA. This was found out 10 years later. We also know that Shaw perjured himself on the stand. And we know that he knew Oswald and he knew Ferry. And there were a lot of solid witnesses that pointed to this. And the research community is, although they castigated Jim at the time for possibly drawing publicity to himself and, you know, blowing open the case, he is the only public official who did bring a prosecution in the murder of John Kennedy. I think he is to be applauded for saying and being the first one in the United States to say that the Warren Commission was wrong.
All right, we're getting a little lost here. When you refer to Ferry, that is David Ferry, a man who was alleged by Garrison to have been involved in the conspiracy. Clay Shaw is the man he brought to trial. Now, it is your use of dramatic license where again, you're hit. This is an area where people begin to go over every detail, every square inch of land. And you do that too. I mean, the meticulous detail that you applied to the Texas Book Depository, even cutting down trees in the line of sight, that sort of thing. And then to mix in the fictionalization, does it get confusing for the viewers so that they don't know what's real?
Well, I think it gets confusing for the man who put the cover of Newsweek up saying that, you know, my film can't be trusted. Consider the source. I think the film viewers can make up their own minds. I think the American people are intelligent. The movie is skillfully woven together to put you inside the action so that you're in the 1960s and you feel Dealey Plaza. It's entertaining, it's a thriller. But I think the American public has seen movies and know what they're about, and they know what's real and what... Also, in the movie, it's very clear, I think, that when Garrison says, let's speculate about, shall we, about the events in Dallas that day, that's what he says, or his members of his staff say, what if, or there's a possibility of. For example, there's a shot of Garrison walking through David Ferry's apartment. He's dead. He looks in the mirror, and he sees in black and white 4 very quick flashbacks of what he thinks may have happened to David Ferry, that he was killed. But I think the movie viewer knows that and knows that that's a speculation.
Well, maybe it's just me. I tell you, you were so skilled at manipulating images and having them come at us that I had trouble knowing what was fact and what was not fact. And when you begin to mix in things like David Ferry saying that Oswald was an agent, that conversation presumably never happened. You have Garrison delivering a very powerful speech before the jury. That never happened. It was actually Oliver Stone's words in large part. You have a fellow named X in the government revealing the vast conspiracy. That conversation actually never happened. You begin then to raise some doubts, I think.
Well, I've said in all 3 cases, the David Ferry conversation did happen. Lou Ivon witnessed it. His meeting with X I said did not happen. Donald Sutherland talked to me, and I've said that in interviews and I've written about it. Although Jim Garrison did meet with a deep throat figure who was a CIA agent and told him some remarkable things. The film is ultimately a hypothesis.
We have just about 25 seconds, and I know this has gone awfully fast, but in the end, through all of this controversy, what would you like to have come out of this?
If these critics feel so secure with their truth, why don't we let the American public see it? Let the files out. Let's start with the House files from the 70s, Mr. Blakey's files. Let's move on to the intelligence files, the military intelligence files, the CIA files, and the FBI files. Trust the American people with the truth and with their history.
Oliver Stone, producer, writer, director of JFK. You're very kind to talk to us on such a busy night. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a program note in just a moment.
What kind of car is this?
A Sentra.
Would you consider selling it?
No.
Would you sell it for $150,000? Okay. $250.
$250, sir, your change.
The Nissan Sentra GXE. Because rich guys shouldn't have all the fun.
Cutbacks continue.
Recession.
Politicians.
Crime.
Pollution. Daycare. Not having any time.
Job insecurity.
You never needed it more. A new extra-strength pain reliever made to get today's tough headaches before they really get you. 1,000 milligrams, stomach guard, and the name Bayer. That should ease your mind. Introducing new extra-strength Bayer Plus. Now there's no pain you can't bear.
Good. Now I can go to bed.
Wait a minute. I want to give you a gift while we're alone. Something just for you.
A washer and dryer?
Come on, will you be serious?
Okay.
Close your eyes. Come on. Merry Christmas.
This Christmas, give her the gift of love. Diamonds.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values. This 6-cycle GE washer is just $329.99.